Cyn City.
Cyn City.
Cyn City.
Cyn City.
This is Jumping the Turnstile, and welcome to another episode. I'm Jezbot, and over to my right, as always, we got the man who makes this all possible, long-time producer, /editor, /marketing director, the man on the ones and twos. No offense. Tippy Taco.
Tippy Taco. No, not number twos. There's
The
a
ones
difference
and twos.
The ones and twos are the decks, right?
Yeah, and all the keyboards and all the action that you do in here in the studio. Thanks for having us back.
No,
yet
that's
again.
ones and twos. Which one's the one and which one's the twos?
Oh,
then?
like you decide. It's up
Okay.
to you. It's up to you. Special guest in the pod tonight.
Okay. Who?
Long-time listener. One-time guest.
One-time listener. Several times guest. Haven't you? You've done about 4 episodes.
I've
Why
done
don't
a
you introduce?
couple.
Why don't you introduce yourself there?
Hello, everybody.
It's
Cyn City.
Cyn City over
Cyn
there.
City
Welcome
is
back.
back.
We got a little bit of relevant fellas. There you go. There it is.
Thank you.
Excellent. Where have you been?
Sorry, it's been so long.
Good to have you back.
Mm.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
And also with you.
What did
And
you think of
also
the
with you.
name change and the funky beat intro?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the other one, but I like this one also.
I think it is the other one, just with it chucked underneath it, because he came in. and
2.0.
said, I want the new. I want it.
Fresh
I want it to
coat.
be- I want it to be old, but I want it to be new.
Fresh coat. Yeah.
So can you just put a funky beat on that?
And within 15 minutes, we had a funky beat.
On that.
This is on the ones and twos.
Oh, yes.
There's an
That's it.
editor,
There-
producer,
hence the ones and
marketer.
twos.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Everything.
Everything.
apparently.
So far, so good.
So, Cyn City, this is probably Coffee Talk with Cyn City, isn't it?
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Well,
Around the workstation with the water cooler talk,
Yeah, well,
catching up. It's been a while,
it
so
has been a while.
instead of coffees, we'll have beers, which
Yeah.
we're doing
which
now.
we
Cheers,
are
everybody.
doing. It's Sunday.
It is Sunday.
This is our
Sunday
fo-
sessions.
Backing
Cheers.
it
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Oh,
Getting
yeah.
that in, yeah.
Cheers in the middle.
Yeah.
So last night I did a gig. I
Damn.
don't usually talk about my gigs. I'm not going to talk about the music or whatever itself, but it keeps happening to me. I mentioned it once before. It's similar to when you're a guitarist and you're on stage and you look out to the audience, and there's always one audience member doing air guitar, like simulating what you're doing. And that's one thing. So what I do is I scan across the crowd because I'm always looking for just trying to pick up a vibe. You know what I mean?
I like the vibe of everyone's naked, picturing them naked.
Picturing them naked, just trying to get a vibe. And
And you locked eyes.
and I get
someone.
I get the dude like talking to his mates, and you look over there, and they're like, oh, they're having a bit of a laugh, but then they do the old head thing, look, oh yeah, he's looking at us, and then they hold one finger to the ear and do the wiggy wiggy wiggy, like similar to air guitar,
the international DJ
international
symbol.
DJ and DJing, and then laughing.
So, homie, don't play that? Or...
So it's just sort of like people don't understand that what I'm actually doing up there is, in fact, holding one hand to an ear and going wiggy, wiggy, wiggy. That's actually the physical motion I do to DJ, right? So it's not a joke. It's how you do it.
Yeah.
It's like if someone came to the work site and started like they pick up a stick or something and they start hammering something, going, I'm a working man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm hammering, just like you.
I have noticed though you've been seeing the osteopath a lot lately because your neck is like, because you don't do the finger in the ear so much as you do the lean
shoulder to the.
shoulder to the ear so that you can mix and scratch at the same
Oh,
time.
I don't know if it's
Because you are
that's
Timmy
caused
Two
it.
Hands as well.
I use 2 hands.
Timmy Two Hats, Timmy
Timmy
ten
10 fingers.
Yeah, Timmy
Timmy Taco.
two tonal.
Yeah, Timmy Tonal.
Yeah.
But so I get a lot of that. I get a lot of that air guitar motion to me, and sort of like, okay. And when you're up there and you can't really defend yourself, hear what the joke is, laugh along with it, or do anything to defend yourself, you just gotta take it like a man. But a strange thing happened last night,
On the way to the gig,
which is
yeah.
it's very similar. It's in the same vein as that. So I was wearing a cheese cutter hat, which is like an Irish hat, which is like a golfer's hat.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You get
I'm with
picturing
you,
that?
Yeah.
And there was one other guy at this wedding with a very, very similar hat on. I dare to say, same size. same shape, same everything. Okay, he looked cool. I looked cool. At one stage, I went
Another hattie.
Hattie,
An acknowledged nod
Yeah,
of
it's
the
Oh, is
leather
it
hat.
Hat-hose.
Hattos,
Yeah.
Hatto. And then the night progressed. He came up to me later. Had some of his mates there.
Mm.
This is the part that I don't get.
Okay.
Because I'm constantly being mocked in my life.
By my wife.
DJ.
He did.
By my life. By my life. And so he came up to me and went, "Hey, how you going, man? Yeah. Can I try your hat on? You want to swap hats?" I'm like, "Oh,
Oh,
not
that's
really.
personal.
Not really."
Bit
He's like,
sweaty.
"Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
let's swap hats. Let's swap hats." Okay. He's wearing the same hat as me.
Okay.
I'm wearing the same hat as him. So I'm like, all right. So I gave him my hat because I'm a very accommodating person. And then he put the hat on and then went and did the fake DJ thing. And all his mates are going, "Hey, look at Hatto. He's dressed up as the DJ now. He's wearing the hat." I went, "Wicked." Gave him his hat back. And then he put his hat back on and then danced and I didn't laugh.
Wow.
I would have shut the whole gig down, packed up, and gone
Yeah.
home.
It was very close. It was very close to the end. So, but what do you make of that?
Well, I think it's sort of what I experienced last night of people coming in at different levels of drunkenness to the night.
You were there, were you?
I had a mate over. He came in a little bit too hot.
He came in too hot.
Oh.
He was already a bit. He already had a few
Oh, he
under the
well
belt.
pre-sauced.
You were sober.
Pre-sauce.
They were getting pissed. So the hat joke just didn't translate.
Yeah,
to him.
Yeah.
why make a mockery of me? Like, "Hey, look at me, I'm that DJ."
You do have red hair.
I do, yeah. But I didn't
So-
know that. It's under my hatto. It's not like I'm out there.
I don't know. Did you get paid?
Yeah, I got paid.
Excellent.
Thanks for
Good.
asking.
Good.
So, what about your saucer?
My saucer.
Yeah, mate, that
The
pre-sauced.
pre-sauced. Yeah, it just came in a little bit too hot. Probably started a wee too early. And it was, I'd cooked dinner. I've actually started cooking now. And I was all about that. All about them potatoes, getting that right.
You got to boil the water, put them in.
I had all the bacon, had
gotta
crushed
wait.
crushed
Duck fat.
almonds, had it was
Ooh,
all a thing. It was a
fancy.
to
What kind of
do.
fat did you say?
Duck fat.
Duck fat.
Roasted potatoes in duck fat.
Okay.
So you
I'm
can
down
school
with that.
Jeremy. Jeremy took potatoes out of the recycling bin the other day and cooked them for his wife.
It's compost bin.
Is she all right? Does she need
Is
to
she
go to
all right?
hospital?
She
No,
knows.
there's
it's
something
all
wrong
good.
with her. She's married to him.
There you go. No, and I did a nice side dish of I did a look at apple crumble for sliced up those potatoes. Got some Carmen's muesli, and you sprinkle that on top. And so I'm perfecting that one. I needed some raw sugar on it. I needed to do some things to it, but yeah, definitely. That he wasn't interested in the apple crumble though.
Right.
By the end. And,
So you rocked up sauce to a dinner party,
Well,
basically.
I said it was a barbecue, but I got keen during the day.
Oh, and you stepped it up a
I
notch.
stepped it up a notch.
Right.
I was crushing almonds. I was getting pesto. I did the thing where you line up all your condiments, all the cut bits. You get everything ready. There's a French name for it. I don't know what it is, but it's like
It's called le preparation.
preparation. I did all that. Washed my hands.
Preparation.
Scrubbed my fingernail. Oh no, I did all that.
Yeah, you did
and I haven't cleaned the barbie. And there you go. It was-
So what do you make of
I
somebody
kicked him out.
turning... I kicked him out.
well, I stuffed myself so full of potatoes and
Oh, you would have been
chicken
you would have
wings
been
and stuff.
sleepy.
I was so sleepy.
Mm.
I was trying to watch conspiracy stuff on YouTube. Quick 3-minute video.
Well,
Why is
you
this?
had guests over.
Well, Cass and her were out the back talking smack, and I was winding it down. And
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
his
what are you
way.
gonna do?
His way of
Exiting.
cutting off the chaff.
yeah, the
say.
eyes were getting very heavy.
It's like this. So anyway, I'm just talking to you. Oh, you tired, eh, Jeremy?
Yeah, a little bit tired. Big time.
working so much. Been working so much. Now you mentioned conspiracy. Now, last couple of times you were in here, we developed a Cynspiracy,
Yes.
and we want to know if you've got any.
Can we get some
anything
X
else?
Files music or something?
Sure, yeah, I
something
can
like
put
that.
something in there. Yeah.
Make some work for you, Tim. You love it. It makes for a better pod, though. was soulful. I like
Yeah,
that.
it was soulful.
Yeah, well, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Melbourne's experienced a bit of crazy weather. Well, the whole of Australia has.
It's always
in the
bloody
last
weather.
week. Something's on fire and something's about to flood.
Yeah,
Very windy or
Yeah, but
you've got cold, you've got heat, you've got
yeah,
pollen.
sounds like a planet, right?
It does.
But yeah, on Thursday afternoon, particularly, I was at the shopping centre and staring out the window, and the sky was like red,
Yeah.
and winds were insane, and just
Sailor's
thought,
warning.
oh my god, this looks like an apocalypse.
This is the
and,
apocalypse, yeah.
I'm stuck in the shopping centre in Wavos.
Perfect.
Where would you want to be stuck in an apocalypse?
Somewhere with a lot of canned foods.
Yeah. The
So
supermarket?
the shopping centre
Sorry,
is probably
Yeah, probably
a safe
ample,
place.
Yeah.
ample place.
Mm.
No, but you've got the people panicking.
There is a lot of panic, and there's a lot of. I'm sure the hoarders and the pirates are coming straight for
Yeah.
the Tesco's, the Coleses, the
They're going
wherever
straight
you
for that.
live, your supermarket.
Mm.
I've
Yeah.
always said that, there was a period of my life where I was quite keen on building a bunker in the Blue Mountains just to survive an apocalypse, but now I just want to go down. I think everyone else is going to go down
it
that's
might
close
do
to
us
me.
a bigger favour.
Why do I even want to remotely
And what are we
survive something
surviving
and
for?
try and live through
Yeah.
radioactive
Yeah, it's like,
environments
I just wanna
where
cra-
nothing grows?
I just die for a can of cream corn right now. That's what I'd be doing in
Sounds
the
great,
apocalypse.
doesn't it?
And then
What
it's
a
all
life.
burden on you to have kids and repopulate the bloody.
Oh, yeah, it's all
well,
on you.
It's all on your shoulders.
Don't mind spreading. I mean, anyway. But yeah, it got me thinking because there was a time in my life a couple of years ago, actually, probably. Well, I was all about 2012 and really keen to
Yeah.
see what happens with the main calendar. But after that, when that didn't happen,
It kind of fizzed out.
it's like, what's next? Oh, Nibiru, Wormwood. That's going to fly
That's
by.
gonna come,
Okay,
yeah.
when's that? Oh, they got the 4 blood moon triad
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
and
that's
yeah,
gonna be
what's going to
something.
happen in 2000? I think that was September 23rd, 2016. That was another date. That was
Yeah, but we don't know if they're
Come and go.
We don't know if they're crossroads in dimensions. So,
Ooh.
in an ultimate
next level, mate.
in an ultimate
Next level.
dimension, 2012 did happen. Except we are of the survival dimension. So nothing ever happens to us. We just get the threat of it about to happen, and then the other dimensional of
Forks
us
off.
forks off.
I did hear a
They
good.
get forked up.
Yeah, they got
They
fucked
get
up.
fucked up. I did hear a nice deep one about 2012. The chair, there was some alien chair that they
Montauk.
scooped out of the and it can when you sit in it, if you have psychic abilities, you can see the future, past, present, but you can also manipulate it a little bit and.
He's from the 60s, 70s,
And beyond, but apparently, like
Montauk.
I went to Montauk.
Did you really?
Are you serious?
Uh,
There's a chair in Montauk.
this
Yeah.
alien chair.
are you
Don't
will not get
even.
to, you're not going to get
It's
to the
deep.
chair.
It's
They extracted it from a alien craft, and it's controlled by the mind. And what they use it, the CIA were using it for remote viewing to
Oh,
amplify
yeah.
remote viewing.
That's it. That's the one, Timmy. He's like level 24. I'm only in like level
Interesting.
12.
I'm level 33 and a third.
Anyway, so when they get in this chair, no matter how good they were at projecting or whatever, they can never see past 2012.
Yeah, it just
It was like a big
Wow.
wall, and that's why. Yeah, how's
Yeah,
that? Do
it's
you like
because
that
their
one?
dimension
Serious.
splits off, so you can't see interdimensionally, but you can see the future. So he was seeing what he would fork off into.
Yeah, excuse
That
me.
was,
Wash your mouth out.
Yeah, fuck you.
So there you go. That's pretty.
But,
that's next level.
So we had the weather on
YouTube.
Thursday. What
Yeah,
about
so I went. There was a period of my time where I had some, couldn't sleep very well, and I used to just, go onto YouTube, and there was a guy called Mr. Doom, and he would do like end of days prophecies,
Excellent.
prophecy videos like every day,
Every
and
week.
I'd just play them, and then go to sleep,
asleep,
go to
yeah.
sleep to those kind of stories.
Nothing weird
bedtime
here.
stories,
Is he
but-
always calling him Dr. Doom? Like, is he go right? Definitely next month. I
yeah,
swear
what's
to
his
God.
success rate?
Well, he hasn't
Zero.
posted a YouTube video for 2 years.
Oh, he's
so
being
he's
humiliated.
gone.
Oh,
He's
maybe
gone.
he forked off into another
Yeah.
dimension.
But so that got me thinking,
Nice.
like, what's happening now? What's going on? And the old pole shift came back on the scene.
Yeah, that
Which
always
is
comes around.
Polar
Fantastic.
shift.
Are we
that
going-
makes sense for the
Are we
weather.
going to switch the other way? Is that what's happening? We're going to end up spinning in the opposite direction?
Well,
and then like Superman,
that's
Up is
That's
down.
a full flip.
That's a left.
Okay.
Left is right. We're talking about more up is down. So
Oh,
like,
or is it just a throwing off of the true north?
The true north. That's what it is, and that's moving more closer over Siberia, and it's affecting the the ocean currents in both hemispheres.
do you know the good thing about this is the Antarctic will expose all its deep dark secrets. Have you seen the
Deep, cold
face?
secrets.
I love the
So?
face. The
Yes, I love
the
it.
big massive face in the side of a mountain
It's just
that
a mountainous-
Google Earth found, and it's
And it's been
been
discredited by
blurred out.
Danoz.
well, that's
And the other
Sean
ones.
enough.
And the internet. But it will reveal its secrets.
Yes.
I hope so.
Whether we
in our
get whether
lifetime.
we become privy to those secrets is up to
We'll
the
be
people that
long,
discover
long
it.
dead.
Well, the Antarctic Treaty's up for renewal.
Oh,
in
is it?
Is
2040
it?
or something like that. I believe so. Because isn't that just interesting?
That is an interesting one. That
where
we
no one's allowed to go there.
And we
Unless
can all
you're
get
a-
along
Unless you're a
there.
scientist.
And is it for our safety? Because we can't stand the cold? Is that why? Because
No,
I'm
I
pretty
think-
sure I
I
could
think
go
what
down
they-
to Kathmandu and get some thermals and stuff and go
could.
down,
You can.
off I
do it. You
go.
can tough it out, but you probably have to be there on a voluntary capacity, working at a
That's where the-
science station. Like what's your
That's
job?
the only way.
Collecting snow.
That's where the
It's like, oh, well,
Stargate
it's pretty
is.
easy.
So
That's where the Stargate is.
now,
And
Cyn,
the abominable snowman.
Yeah.
you've said you've been
Gesundheit.
to a lot of cool places in your travels. You've been to the diving off the coast of Japan. You saw the
Yeah,
what was
Yonaguni.
that one?
Underwater pyramids.
You've been to. You've got your.
You've got your haunted island, mental forbidden island that you went and investigated.
Oh, it wasn't an island, but yeah, it was in Japan, Okinawa.
Okay. Island. either
Royal
way.
Hotel. Yep, crop circles in
Now
the
you
UK.
said
Yeah, you've been to
Montauk.
crop
What did you do in
circles.
Montauk?
But yeah, I've always wanted to go to Montauk. And then it just escalated where I got invited to a stay on a yacht in the Hamptons
Oh,
in
that's-
Montauk. So it wasn't really
Whoa.
conspiracy related.
It's called yachting, and anyway, look that one up.
Is it really?
I think
Is this another one of your
Lindsay Lohan, that's her latest sort of side business. It's called yachting. Look that one up. I'm not going to say it out loud.
Can you
but-
say it out loud so we can?
just hooking, prostituting.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Is that what Lindsay's up to
That's
these
what,
days?
yachting. Mm.
Right.
Rich
You go on a
people.
yacht.
Yeah, and it's international
in-
waters, and it's
In maritime law.
Yeah,
So what about hooking out? In
I
the
don't think
ocean?
you're a hooker. That's just
Who are you talking to me or?
No, for free.
So anyway, that was a long way to get around to. Well, this is Now You Know, another segment. It's a segment within a segment.
Okay.
It's called Now You Know, and Tim will put a sound effect in there.
Now we know.
And it's just a list. It's a list-based segment.
Okay.
You know
and
the
now
list
you
I
know
read up.
there's a
Yeah.
list out there
And
pertaining.
because you've been to so many weird, cool, wondrous places, I've gone through the strangest places on the earth, archaeological, and Tim, you could be looking that up as well as we go.
Sweet.
My children have
Bring
my
it.
phone,
This
so-
might.
the
Can
kids
you
got it.
send me a copy? This might just be my bucket list.
Yeah, well, Area 51.
No, I haven't been there.
Ah, damn it.
Have you been to the Americas?
I have been to the North Americas
Bermuda
and the
Triangle.
Centrals.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I've wanted to go there.
Now, if you go to the Bermuda Triangle, do you go to Bermuda for a relaxing holiday, or do you try to cross?
A
You
time
try to-
barrier.
Yeah,
go
you try
from
to cross the triangle.
Florida
Yeah.
to is that where it is? Florida to
Yeah,
Bermuda?
yeah, out,
Yeah.
yeah, towards the
And if you-
west.
If you
into
do
the
want to
Atlantic.
get taken or time lauded, I
Yeah.
think you need to be in like a Cessna or like a small aircraft. You
or
definitely
a boat, a
A
small
boat's
boat.
yeah.
One of my favorite stories about the Bermuda Triangle is a barge kind of boat, and he said this mist fog just came out of nowhere,
Mm.
and the ocean turned to milk.
turn to milk.
Yeah, and there was
Sweet,
like
delicious.
static.
Delicious salty milk.
Is it lactose free? Because I get a little bit gutsy. Milk everywhere, but I can't drink it because I'm gluten free.
Yeah,
Something like that. I don't
Something
know.
like that.
The Great Pyramids of Giza.
Giza. Yeah,
Giza.
I'd like
I
to
haven't
go
been there.
there.
I'd like to go there and then
Um,
like penetrate into its depths.
Oh,
Mm.
sounds hot.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
does.
desert. So
Very hot.
sounds
And
very
climb it.
hot.
Have you seen the guy who climbs it with a GoPro? Fantastic footage.
He just goes for it, doesn't
yeah,
he?
he just went for it.
When did they shut off being able to climb that? because
years ago.
Yeah, but
well, 'cause
Renzo's.
our
Yeah.
friend, went to the top of that with the camcorder. Camera would not work on the top.
Shout out to long time
Really?
listener
Work.
Renzo.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, he is a long time listener.
Yes.
He listens.
He loves it.
all the time.
Thinking about you, mate, right now. The Nazcan Lions. You know
Yes.
the aerial foot. Have you
In
been?
South America.
You've been there?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Now, can I just say a thing about that?
Yes.
Unless you're in a plane,
Can't see him.
yeah, pretty
That's
pointless.
right.
So,
You got to do the flyover.
Mm.
yeah.
What about your old Loch Ness?
Loch Ness.
No.
Yeah. Have they? Has that? We recently had a sighting of old Nessie.
Yeah.
Old Nessie.
I don't know
Thought
the
there
latest on that.
was One.
Oh, Nessie.
It's gotta be a
Theories?
waiter.
Like a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being full believer, 1 being total skeptic. Where are you on the Nessie?
Yeah, skeptic, I think.
Well, we're talking cryptids.
Remember, it was a number-based scale from 1 to 10. 1 being skeptic, 10 being total believer. I'm about on the Nessie. I'm a 1. I was like, it could have been some sort of old school lizard, water dinosaur creature, passed down from generation to generation.
I'll hit you with that. I'll hit you with it.
What do we know about the lake?
Very deep, very
does
cold.
the lake join to?
Yeah, does it join to
Yeah, because
anything?
if it does,
And how big is it? Is it like
big.
Gels Park?
It's deep. It's not.
yeah.
It's not Giles Parker size pondage. It's more of a deep,
deep burn.
deep abyss. It's abyssal. I
It's
think.
abyssal.
Yeah, there you go, Tim. There's this callback. Stonehenge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Been
You've
there.
been.
You've been there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, been
Yeah.
there pre or post fence?
Post fence.
Okay.
I actually got up at like 4 a.m. and drove out there to get there for sunrise, and with the thought in my brain that there'd be no one guarding it and I could jump the fence.
Right.
That is not what happened at all.
Right.
So
There's
you
security.
can't get any close enough to see its effects of where the
Well, once you
equinox hits
get
the.
past the fence, you've got like a barrier around it, so you can't actually go up and touch the
you
stone.
can't go. So yeah.
Do you know what, Tim? I've been saying all this time that Tim and I are basically Batman for all the community concerns that we correct. And we have been saying that because you are only a female demographic on the podcast, we have been saying that you're basically in the DC world. You're our Wonder Woman.
Okay.
But I'm kind of thinking now she's more like Lara Croft.
Ooh.
Oh, the
breaking
dress up
into
like her
into archaeological digs and
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I love
climbing
and it's
fences
and a small
and
crop top and
Yes.
short shorts.
I love it.
and
Yeah.
6-shooters on her hips.
I'll
Pitch that.
yeah.
Have you got
I got some more.
Tikal on there?
I've got. I haven't read this list previously, so
Well,
I
won't interrupt
We're
your
all
list.
caught up as we go.
don't know. Yes,
Next.
together. The stone spheres in Costa Rica.
Stone sphere.
Yes.
No,
What's that
don't
one?
know them.
lots of-
Ooh, they look exciting.
Now,
Okay.
think-
They're the stone balls, perfectly round
stone balls,
stones that-
placed and
I have never heard of that, and
Okay.
I
And there's a
so
lot
want to
of
go
them.
to that.
okay,
That
a lot
is
of
so cool.
giant stone spheres dating as far back as AD 600, peppered along the southern Costa Rica. Blah blah blah.
Too heavy to move, easy to roll, I guess.
And
Only
let's
if you have
see.
one of those like sound bar things that move
Yeah,
stone
like,
through
Coral
sound
Castle
frequencies.
style.
Ah, yes, the Coral Castle. Now that's an old favourite.
Or is it castle?
Or is it
It's-
coral?
Yes.
Or is it a corral?
No, it's coral.
Okay.
Are you
That's-
talking
that's
about cryo?
No.
Yeah, it's a
Cryo.
different rave for another time. The Qin Shi Huang's tomb. The
Gesundheit.
Oh, nah, I haven't
the
been there.
statue.
Oh, no, I'd like to see that.
the full army of
Jeez, I know.
terracotta statues in China.
And I tell you what, that guy is sitting on a pretty penny because it was a farmer that came across. He was ploughing and he came across one of the heads and said, "Oh, what's going on here?" Diggity, dig, daroo. And as you see there, you continue digging. They
You
haven't
found
even.
more than a head.
They haven't. They suspect that there's just as many of
I think
those still covered.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I think the Chinese
amazing.
government fully compensated that Chinese farmer dude.
Don't know about that.
Don't know about how
we
that
don't even
works
know their
in a communist state.
GPD or whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't even
we're
know
just
what
gonna-
that means. GPD.
How countries rate their value?
I've got two lists. The Shroud of Turin It's a one. It's not really.
Yeah, I
See
think,
Jesus' face.
Oh, that's it. That's the end of the list. That's,
What?
now you know.
Now
You
we
missed.
know.
Okay,
All right, so
you
now,
totally
okay,
missed.
Okay, now we'll go. Let's go there, right? Now we know.
Now we
about
know.
Jezbot's list. You add to that list where
Okay.
else you've been that
Okay.
should have been on the list.
All right.
And then
Tikal.
now we'll know. Now, what is Tikal?
Tikal.
Ah, right.
Tikal in Guatemala.
Okay.
It's a
Guatemala.
yeah. So you got your Mexican pyramids like Chichen Itza
the
and
big-
Chichen Itza is pretty cool. I've also been there because you go and stand in front of the main pyramid, and you clap your hands,
Yeah.
and the echo of it up the pyramid returns the sound of like a screaming eagle or something
How
like
does
that.
that work?
I don't know.
How do you work
Mexicans.
that out on paper? That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
It's like, and this is the pitch, right? You're gonna clap.
Yeah.
Well, I've invented a clap. Do that. You get an
What is
eagle's-
this clap of which you speak
Yeah.
of? Yes.
No. It's all about the eagle's sound that comes back. It's not really about the clap.
It's got to be an eagle,
Yeah.
not a magpie or a kookaburra.
Mm.
And I don't
It's gotta
know.
be an eagle. Yeah, it's got
gotta
to be
be an
some
eagle.
kind of sacred.
Oh yeah,
bird.
eagle, eye of
Amen.
Horus.
Oh
You
yeah, I
know,
see where you're
birds.
going with that.
Magpies are pretty sacred, though. They're to be feared in springtime when they start swooping. I mean,
I do love
Yeah,
magpies.
I don't know if that really categorizes sacred, but
yeah.
Yeah, so Chichen Itza, it's locked down, so
Oh, really?
it's quite popular with the tourists. But what I did like about that particular site was their archaeological dig was still going under the big pyramid,
Mm.
and they'd already gone in at the top, and what they found was another pyramid underneath the pyramid.
inside
so
the pyramid.
yeah, so
I
that
think
was
That's
I've
Baba
heard about that.
Ganoush or a
Yeah, what do you
the-
call them?
Mamushka dolls.
Mamushka.
of
Mamushka
pyramids.
dolls. Yeah. So that was
Yeah.
kind of cool, but it was disappointing that you couldn't, climb on it.
Is there
whereas
something so they don't want?
Yeah, so they don't
it's
want anybody
to
Erosion.
See, erosion.
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 They'll
They don't
claim
want you-
erosion.
So it's been there for how long? And
Ever.
yeah, and they're worried about a few Nike Jordans
Well, but
stepping
you know
on it.
what we do have lots of people out there that want to take mementos. You see, like
Like
Ayers
me.
Rock.
Still rocks from all sorts
Still
of
rocks.
archaeological sites. I've got a bag of rocks. I don't know where they come from. But,
Okay, but you know,
One of-
how
one
do you
of
get
them
them
is
through
uranium, but-
customs?
Yeah.
but yeah, into Tikal's.
Ah.
Sorry,
Scammed over that one. Yep.
I missed the question.
I just had to get that through customs.
Yeah, well, I actually had a piece of turquoise that the Guatemalan government took off me when I got to the airport, but I don't know how I got that back on the plane.
Oh,
I just did.
you kept it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I stole a bullet shell from Gallipoli
Gallipoli, all right.
Oh,
at a
right.
cafe. They had a whole bunch of them, and I
stole
strategically
it.
stole one. I got to the airport, and I was like, I don't know about this.
And
I dumped it.
Oh,
I did,
you
a,
dumped
I
it.
did a
you
dump and
said
run.
You don't know about this.
I did a dump and run.
I've got a film canister full of sand scooped from Tunisia, from the set of Luke Skywalker's birthplace.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
A mate of mine, smuggled that over. I don't think he's thinking his ass.
and his man pouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's a really good business idea, guys. We could just
Yeah.
fill up
It's
film.
called smuggling. Now, you give me
No,
a
you
heap of
just go-
heroin, I shove it in my ass. Then I catch a plane.
You
When I
go-
get back,
You could go those extremes, but you could just go down to Mornington Beach and fill up like 500 canisters of sand and go,
so
this is from the set of
that is
Empire
a
Strikes
good
Back.
idea.
This one's from
Jezbot.
the... Yeah.
That is a good idea.
Yeah, you don't know where the sand's from. It's all in your head.
It sure
Like I've been
is.
sold shards of the Berlin
Shards.
Wall. Shards of the
Shards.
Berlin Wall.
Oh, really?
And it's from the only license.
How much did you pay for it?
Oh, fucking who knows? 20 Grubles. What do they use over there? what's the
Francs? German francs?
Oh, sure. Goebbels is much
dongs?
cooler. Yeah, I had to pay 40 dongs.
Yeah.
But yes,
So
back
there's
to the Mexican,
Yeah, so there's
Central
that.
American. So Tikal is in Guatemala, and it's a national park, if you like. That's like 25 kilometers in diameter or
Mhm.
whatever radius, and they're still
do the
discovering
math.
pyramids.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, please do the math because I can't. even though I'm in data analytics. But yeah, and you can climb everything. And I actually saw like an opening underneath one of the pyramids there, and crawled in as far as I could, which was
Could have been
got the heart going a little bit.
Could have been a hanging rock situation.
Yeah.
Just climbing the rocks and never be found.
Yeah, why isn't Hanging Rock on your list?
Why haven't we ever
why
done
isn't
that on
Hanging Rock?
Mysteries on the Stees?
Hanging Rock.
Yeah.
Oh.
We could keep it Melbourne. But anyway, let's do this after. We'll do the meeting after.
Sure, yeah, we'll have the meeting later.
What is also missing from your list is the
Well-
beloved Easter Island.
Oh, Easter Island.
Let me check.
wouldn't
Let me
mind
recheck
checking out
this
Easter
list.
Island.
Yeah.
I've wanted to go there for so long.
What else is there to do there apart from seeing the heads?
But the fact the heads go down
Yeah.
into...
I'll say. There it is.
There it is. There he
They're
is.
not heads, they're full bodies.
They're full body.
There it is. Sorry.
Full bodies in the ground.
Easter Island.
It's on the list.
It's on the list.
The giant carvings on cravings. I was going to say carvings on Easter Island are up to 40 feet tall. There are about 1,000 of them.
1,000?
And their torsos are
Jeez.
buried, leaving only human-like faces, human-like, above the ground. Let's just say the artistry was a little on the nose. That's coming from Jezbot.
They've got big noses.
Yeah, and that's about it.
Thanks.
They don't know how they got there or how long they're going to be there for.
And
Yeah.
are they
How are we gonna get rid
facing?
of them?
Are they all facing the same direction?
Doesn't say
Well, they're
very.
all sort of looking up.
Yeah,
Well,
but
from
I
this-
think they're all facing the same direction.
From this
Yeah.
photo of the two that you can see, they're both looking in the same direction.
They sure are.
Yeah.
So I guess we can.
And there's some of them in the water as well. So like
Oh,
the
really?
diving off the island's pretty cool. Like I actually went to the British Museum, which is one of the coolest museums on the planet, and it's free. And they've got some great things from the Syrian area and the
Ah, yes.
Babylonian
Really must
times
go.
and the Egyptians and the Romans and the Greeks. But I couldn't find the main entrance and ended up going in the back door, like through some dodgy door. And the first thing I walked in front of was an Easter Island statue. And I was like,
Because they've
I've
got
always
one,
wanted to go.
Replica?
got one at...
no, they steal
what's-
everything.
Okay.
They've even got
that?
Cleopatra's obelisk sitting on the edge of the Thames. They stole
Okay.
that from Egypt.
I've got a Cleopatra one right
I thought you said
on
that
the
list
other
was
list.
over.
Yeah, but I skipped the Cleopatra's
right, okay.
carriage.
Yeah.
What about this one? Teo, is that the one you were saying before? Teo Tikahaka?
Nah,
Tikahakati?
Oh, that's the Temple of the Moon or something.
Okay.
Or the Sun.
More
What
pyramids.
gets me, because and the point of this list basically is my Jezspiracy. This month I've been mostly going down the rabbit hole of old school architecture and buildings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems the timeline's off. Just that's all I'll say. I won't go too deep.
Sure.
But
Nah,
just
please
seems
explain yourself.
Well, look, I mean, you see the Sphinx,
Right.
okay, and it's got erosion on it from water.
Yep.
Oh, okay. The
okay.
Great Flood.
And they say, oh, well, if the pyramids are 2,000 years old, first of all, that just cannot be
No,
cannot
that
be right.
doesn't
Not possible,
compute
yeah.
at all.
Just not
No.
right.
No.
Because they're built on other pyramids, like you're saying, and so
It's-
you got
yeah,
you
they're
do the
saying-
timelines,
yeah,
and
they're
you
saying
go,
the Sphinx was there before the pyramids as well.
and then the what's the other one? Göbekli Tepe.
yeah.
In Mexico or wherever the fuck it is, and that's
Göbekli Tepe,
and
Mexico.
that's like
that's in that's where Persia used to be. I thought
Turkey,
that
yeah,
was-
yeah.
yeah.
and that's at least 10. It's been buried for 10,000 years. They buried it on purpose as well, which is weird.
to protect it.
From
I
the Great
believe.
Flood.
Okay.
And if you go in Turkey, there's a mountain, and that's apparently they found the remains of what they think might be Noah's Ark.
Oh yeah, Mount Ararat. Ararat.
Is it?
No, that's in Victoria.
No, I think, yeah, but I think you're right though.
Yeah,
Is
I
it?
think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's one of the possible in the Bibles. It says Matt. It's possibly.
So-
I'm no scholar, Tim.
Yeah,
but,
no, I'll say. You
This-
do the scholaring.
This is a great segue because, you know...
Thank you, and
Yep.
also with you.
So, I went around the world this year, and, you know, when
You really
booking
must
my...
go.
Yeah, you really must go to everywhere I went.
Your mugs, like, just get a round the world ticket and just.
Well, I was talking to my travel agent, and, you know, how do you work this out? And, you know, she's like, well, you can either go to Asia or South Africa. And I was like, oh...
Wow, what? Can I go to any other places?
No, like if you're going, yeah, but if you're going to Europe, the
Yeah,
stop's over
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm not really ready to really go to Asia at the moment. but South Africa sounds interesting.
Uh-huh.
And then I remembered everything. So, like, there's a guy called Michael Tallinger. He's like the South African Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
He's great. He's
And you're
really
basically
great.
Lara Croft.
Yeah.
So match
Yes.
made in heaven.
That's
Well, yeah, so I did organise to go and hang out. He's got like a little retreat where he lives, but he also invites people to come and stay. And
Some
then
might call it a
takes them around.
compound.
Some might call it a cult. Others call it archaeology.
Nevertheless.
Yeah.
Well, I missed him by a week. He was heading to the US to do his talks,
To
and
do
he was
some
getting
gigs.
married, and
Okay.
yeah, I missed him
He's
by
off
a
the
week.
market.
But one of his videos is high up on some mountain ridge in South Africa, and they're looking out over to these other mountains that look very similar in shape to pyramids.
Oh, look now. I know what you're talking about.
And
It's giant.
they've
It's
got
a mountain, right?
well, yeah, like some mountains just kind of look pyramidal model,
Yeah.
Triangle.
Triangle, I think
covered
we call
in trees.
You did
but-
linguistics.
Yeah.
No, you do 'em.
But they went up there in like an aircraft, and you could see a sediment line behind behind these mountain ranges, as if water just came through and just like
For the flood, you're saying. Yeah.
So I mean, that was I think one of my early introductions into Michael Tallinger and
So you
what
don't
he's
see,
doing down in
you,
South
you
Africa.
definitely don't hear much about South Africa.
No, you do not.
Structures and whatnot,
But there is, I mean,
which is interesting.
It is very interesting. There's so much archaeological stuff there that governments are certainly not investing in,
Cradle of civilization, apparently.
and that is
And
where
then
I
there's-
went. Yes.
Okay, so
yeah, I went there.
So you're really getting out there. So when you go to you're not your real estate agent, you're
Yeah,
travel agent.
travel agent.
You go right.
I need adventure. I need archaeology. I
you
need
go
to-
to-
Go
you-
to Kentucky.
yeah, that's it.
You go on your watch list of YouTube of like the rabbit hole you've just gone down, and just go right. I need to go to the Incas. I need to go to the.
I need ghosts. I need conspiracies. I need. That's
Yeah.
now you say
crazy.
overlooking mountain. I saw one of your photos while you were away. You were on the edge of a cliff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The question is, who took that photo?
And were you planning on or contemplating
Oh,
jumping?
I know what you're talking about. That was in Norway. That was
look, the
Trolltunga.
The diary's coming out.
Yeah,
I love
well,
it.
you started talking about the cradle of civilization, and
Okay.
that's exactly where I went in South Africa. But that photo you're talking about is on Trolltunga in Norway.
And who took the photo?
My guide.
Your guide.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It looks like you got away from the guide a bit because you're right out there.
Yeah, there's only been a few times where my heart feels like it's going to stop, and that was definitely one of them when I was scooting to the edge of a 300-meter drop down to a 1 kilometer lake.
It looks like the cover of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah,
if
it does
you
a bit
like that.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can picture that. If
No.
you can't, Google it.
It's one of the most Instagrammed cliff faces, and
Yeah.
there have been fatalities there, but
Of course.
Okay. Imagine that if you'd said to your guide, you wait here, you get a photo. I'm just going to go on the edge,
Oh,
and then you just
don't.
walk and then just fall off the edge. Did you get the shot?
A lot of people have died doing that for the YouTube or Instagram stuff.
yeah.
Trying to get the I'm planking on the rail of the Grand Canyon.
Well,
And
since you got to,
Yeah, so if you're going to Instagram, please be safe.
if you
Yeah,
want to
please,
kiss,
The
please.
message
if
to
you want to kiss
listeners.
It
the
is.
Blarney Stone, is that what it is?
Oh yeah, I went to that,
You
but the
have
line
to-
was 2 hours long,
Yeah,
so I
and you
went, I
have
ain't
to
kissing something that's been
reverse-
pissed on.
You have to reverse plank out a window.
Yeah, someone's holding you.
Yeah, I know. Someone's holding you.
Oh, it's a
but
bail. Is that part of the
no,
rules?
That's how you. That's how you
That's how
get
you have
to
to
the
kiss it
Blarney Stone. You got
to get the gift of the gab.
It's deadly.
Now you have to get
It's not that bad.
you have to get crowd surfed.
No, you
Out
have
a
to-
window.
So you got to lie down,
Yeah.
right, head first out the window,
Okay.
On your
plank
On your back.
Yeah.
on your back,
Before you kiss or after you
plank.
kiss?
No, in order to get to the point to kiss, then
Okay.
you got to go. Mm-hmm.
Does it wipe? Does it get wiped down in between each
I don't
kiss?
think so.
Nah.
No.
Herps all over it.
Yeah, I was lining up and someone said something about herpes, and I
It's
just
the
walked
herpes
away
stone.
and got a refund.
She didn't want the herpes, so she got a refund.
Beautiful.
But you were still overseas.
You could
so
build
I
a
would
whole.
say-
You could build a half an hour Netflix special on that joke.
Sure can.
Gonna really, really fun.
So,
You did a big trip. What was your most mystical
So yeah,
location?
well, the most mystical location, I suppose, was South Africa. So once I
It's crazy.
figured out what I was doing, I landed in Johannesburg, which I don't recommend to anybody, but it is the gateway. Yeah, and it's like South Africa's got an air of mystery to it, but it's also a bit sad because they're not really interested in their own history there.
Culture, yeah,
And,
yeah.
like they did bulldoze these ancient sites to build a freeway. No question, just bang. And one of the sites were actually they're called like stone circles, and it's a particular stone called, I think, dolerite, that isn't found in the area, so it was mined somewhere and brought to this county in South Africa called Mpumalanga, and they built these circle structures with just piling up these rocks. And this one in particular, they got bulldozed for a freeway. It was like 4 meters high in wall length. So it was a bit sad, but
It sort of feels like how when Cass and I went to Fiji and we are just trying to go to the local, like, historical centre just to see how the Fijians might have lived back in the day. Nothing.
No
Nothing.
original.
Nothing original.
This is in.
so
It was
bizarre.
like, let me see a hut. Let me see how you were cooking. Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah,
It was disappointing.
yeah.
That is disappointing.
So, I mean, that's why, hats off to Michael Tallinger for, trying to protect these sites, and that's what he's doing. So
That was actually a Indiana Jones metaphor. Hats off. Isn't that?
yeah. Hats off, whip
Also-
out.
Hats off. Whip out.
Also,
Hats back on.
hate snakes.
Yeah, it doesn't like
Hate
snakes.
Oh
'em.
my god,
That would have
so
been
do
good.
I.
But do you think he would have been accommodating if you met him? Would you
Yeah.
have done the old, I'm here. Oh, I made it. Because I had somebody rock up here at the studio. I was sitting in here and I heard a knock on that window there.
Oh, Jesus
And I
Christ.
just went, oh, what the fuck is that? And
Oh
then
my
this
God.
guy came in from New Zealand. He's like, oh, I made a cuzzy. Oh, I found your studio on the internet. And I came all the way here, and once I saw the ad, I knew you were the one that was going to help me out. So and I went, you should have called, man, or emailed me. Like, my number's on the thing right next to the address that you got to get to the thing on the what.
You have
He
to
goes,
get.
oh, I made all this way, and you haven't got any like beats or musical stuff you could just like give me.
You can
'cause-
sign-
just 'cause
sign
I
me
came
up.
all this way, and I just went, no. dude,
Wow.
I'm not even letting you in the house.
You need to take your
Bye.
address off the internet, I think.
Probably should. This is not an exotic destination.
Can I just say that you're not? It's not the Dr. Dre studios, guys.
That's not. You can't rat-tat-tat on anyone's window.
No, that's super
I
creepy.
made it. Oh, I finally got here.
How did he even get
Who the
into that
fuck
part of the
are-
garden?
I think he did the old reach over and unlatch the gate.
The reach around.
Reach over.
Oh, good.
Unlatched the gate. And then just started rat-tat-tatting on windows. And I guess he got to this one and success.
crazy.
You made it. Oh, I made it.
I guess so. The security cameras going to him.
Yeah, the security cameras are going.
Now, speaking of Johannesburg and South Africa, security. How did you go traveling around? Did you have to have minders?
No.
Just solo Cyn City.
Cyn City in a little,
Heavy
what was
metal,
I
man.
driving? Some little white thing.
You were driving.
I drove 3,000 kilometres around South Africa.
Outrageous. A lady
myself.
driving?
Seems wonderful.
But yeah, like you'd be driving down the freeway, and it says crime hotspot, and there's just people on the
It's a sign.
freeway.
They made up a sign. They didn't bother getting police, but they did pay for
Yeah.
a sign being made up.
But there's people like on the road just trying to hitchhike, like a chick with 3 kids, and I had a car empty, just my luggage, and it's like, oh, should I stop and help?
No.
But that's when you decide, no, don't do it. So I was.
Didn't you read the sign?
Yeah,
Crime hotspot.
Hotspot.
but even.
But does
in
that
areas
draw in the
not.
criminals?
Why would you? How do the criminals know to go there?
The
It's
sign.
Yeah, I know, but it's like the ducks crossing the road. How do the ducks know to cross there?
It's true, Tim.
So,
Yes.
More questions than answers.
yeah, sure.
So my hygienist, she's from Johannesburg, and she's like, "Why?" why are you going there? Don't go there.
Okay.
And
Good morning.
You have
but
a
I
hygienist.
was fine. I felt, yeah, I do.
Okay.
It's important to look after your teeth because
Not-
they don't
not-
grow back,
You don't
mate.
just have a dentist because
Yeah.
I go to the dentist regularly.
Isn't your hygienist just your toothbrush? And a roll of toilet paper?
Now they sandblast your
soap?
teeth, mate.
Oh, okay.
Like that person.
Okay.
Sound blast.
Sand
Sand.
blast.
Oh. Could I
or
get
something. It's like
I might
microdermabrasion
get-
for your
I might-
teeth to get all the plaque off.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I might get a
might get that,
recommendation of you for that one.
Let's do this
Yeah.
after the podcast.
Okay, sure.
Dental
We
talk.
can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the traveling by yourself. I mean, you are basically Lara Croft at the moment, or Wonder Woman, traveling by yourself in a dangerous place.
YOLO,
Happens.
man.
What's the
Total
what's the
YOLO.
premiums on the insurance there?
Oh yeah. Do you?
I don't know. Paid $400. Covered
Okay.
me for 3 months.
Hmm.
Whatever.
It's
Look,
it's no fuss.
I got bitten by a dog in New York. I had to go and deal with their healthcare system.
Right.
Oh.
That's got nothing to do with
you get the
ancient
rabies?
sites. And no, I didn't get the rabies. But I did see some things that I wish I never saw in the hospital happening to other people. So
Top 5
Okay.
list. Let's go. Tim, get us a ding on the right. Number 5, going from the least
Worst.
the least
The least
whack
worst.
to the most whack.
Okay.
Oh, geez. It's all on one bloody thing, really.
Yeah.
I hadn't ever seen someone coming in completely whacked on drugs before.
Wait.
Yeah, so that's the least.
That's a
She's going with
premature.
the least.
What kind of drug you think?
Well, he was...
Crack
He
cocaine.
was...
Crocodile.
Well, it might have been crack cocaine because one minute he was like a little bit in a coma. Next minute he was up kung fu fighting.
That's
with a
heroin.
fire.
Heroin.
Is that heroin?
I think so.
I don't know.
Oh.
All the times I've been in an emergency
A situation.
every time I've come out of a black hat, kung
It's
fu
usually
fighting,
kung fu
it's
fighting.
usually heroin, Tim.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yep,
Then-
number 4.
Then there was the old homeless people feeling sorry for them, like they just come in for a
You
sleep.
got to feel sorry for them.
You see that in Australia as well, but it's way more prevalent
So
in
you say coming
America.
in for a sleep? Do they sleep in the waiting room pretending that they're going to get called?
This
That
was-
might be a good loophole.
That is a good look because you
Oh,
know
yeah.
the waiting list is so long.
Yeah.
So you just go in there and they go, "Can we help you, sir?" You go, "I'm on
Yeah,
the list."
I've got this ulcer, and you know the people who get broken legs, stabbed, they go way up the list. So if you want waiting time,
Yeah, you
go,
say
I've
something
got like a bung knee that I just want to talk to
"Okay,
someone.
Sit over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
We'll get to you.
Yeah. Well, then, there was me with a ring stuck on my finger after being bitten by a dog, and they had to
Oh,
grind
swollen.
the... Yeah, so my diagnosis was ring stuck on finger, not bitten by a dog, because they didn't want to address that, so...
Rings.
I'm number 3.
Yeah, you're number 3.
There was, the guy walking in as I was walking out was clearly having a heart attack, so that wasn't great, but...
Could you tell it with the colour or where he was grabbing himself?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Where he was grabbing himself and then how he was struggling to walk.
Right, yes.
And he was going,
People
"My
running
heart, my
out
heart,
to come and get
ow,
him.
my
to
heart,
take
help
him
me,
in."
my heart's stopping.
Yeah. But number 1 goes to
With
the
a bullet.
guy.
The guy that got shot with a bullet.
Nah, the guy sitting next to me while we were waiting inside the ED. So when you go to the waiting room, then you get triaged and then you get called to go inside.
It's
Oh,
like
so
MASH.
waiting
It's like
so-
an episode of
second
MASH.
waiting
Yeah,
room.
yeah.
And he was sitting next to me, or thankfully not right next to me, but a couple of seats down, and he was sleeping most of the time, and I'm like, what's up with this dude? And anyway, the nurse comes over and she's like, "Sir, tell me what's wrong." And he's like, "Oh, my leg's leaking." And I look
not
like
right.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Oh, I'm just
He
waiting."
didn't say
to-"
again.
But he looked over and his leg was literally leaking, like
Wait,
one of those
wait,
religious
wait.
statues where they're bleeding out of the eyes and
Yeah.
stuff. And but it was clear, like liquid leaking out of his leg. And
He
she's
had,
like, "So,
One
your leg's leaking?" And he's like, "Yeah, my leg's leaking, but that's not what I want you to look at. Something wrong with my right testicle. Can we focus on my right testicle?" And she's like, "We'll get to that." And he's like, "No, I need to show someone now. It's been happening for 2 weeks."
Oh,
2 weeks.
That's too long.
And
That's 2 weeks too long with
2
two
weeks too long.
testicles.
And it just seems to really affect me whenever I cough. It might be coming something from my cough.
Oh,
You're sitting right next to him.
It's also the other name, a.k.a. DJ Relic, a.k.a. Timmy.
Timmy testicles.
Timmy Two Testicles.
Timmy two test. Timmy two testes.
We don't really say that one in front of you, though. It's behind
Oh,
closed
okay,
doors.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Timmy Two Nuts. Anyway, go on.
But yeah, so I mean, he was quite adamant he wanted to show her his testicles,
he's waited
right?
that long. He's got to get. There's got to be some kind of.
But
payoff.
out of the leaking leg and the
Leaking
testicle, he was really like, we got to look at the testicle, and she's like, okay, but can you tell me a little bit about it? You know, like,
well, I'm calling Gavin.
Leg,
It's the right
leg
one's Trev.
weeping, testicle hurting,
well,
looking.
she's asked him reasonable questions, like, you know, what's wrong with it,
I've had it up to here with your rules.
and can you describe it in comparison to the other testicle? Which he then responded, no, because I'm not a doctor. And I
Okay,
was
that's
like,
fair
welcome
enough.
to America.
Checkmate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Checkmate.
And then they proceeded to go into a
And they
private
can't-
area.
they can't
So
say
When
so,
I
please
when
don't
I
say that.
describe-
freedom of speech.
When I describe my two testicles, I say, well, the one on the left's more of an anarchist. The one on the one on the right, more of a pacifist.
Yeah. Well, the one on the right, it's his day off. It never shows up to work.
And that's number one weirdest things I saw in the emergency room.
yes.
Excellent. There you go.
Back to
okay.
South Africa.
Back to South Africa.
To the Africa, yeah.
So you obviously you survived. So the
I
danger
did.
was medium to high, but you survived with a low.
yeah, I
danger
just
rate.
didn't do stupid things like drive at night.
Food situation.
Oh my God, the food over there is amazing.
Is it?
They know
Chips,
how to.
Fish, burgers.
Pizza.
Nah, meat.
Yep.
They do something to their meat. So good.
They kill giraffes.
Barbecue.
Yes, draft meat.
You never tasted that whale meat. Like,
I
it's
did
really
eat
good.
Kobu, I think it was, or something like. It was like a. I realized after when I googled it that I actually saw it in the safari park.
Was that one of the
Oh.
Yeah.
jumpy guys?
No, not the Giselle or Impala. Nah, it wasn't an
Oh.
Impala. It was one of the bigger ones that were
They've got
a
an
lot
impala
prettier.
in an animal now. I thought they just had that in cars.
Aha, I see what you did there, Dad. I mean,
There it is. There he is.
Humorousy daddy. that is.
yeah, unfortunately.
But yeah, so I ended up going to Waterval Bovine, which is this little village, and that's where Michael Tallinger's farm is, if you like.
Yeah. Okay.
And they've got a museum there. So I met my guide, and we spent 3 hours in this museum with heaps of archaeological findings, if you like.
Cool.
But he also went and started from the start about the history of.
So your guide knew all about it. You wasn't like you didn't just take some guide with you and say, right, this is what we're doing today. He's like, oh, museum. Fuck.
No,
Then we're
no.
going up the mountain.
Water slide or something.
No, he was
So
from.
what
he
kind of-
works with Michael Tallinger.
What kind of finds are we saying? Like spearheads, arrows, bracelet. It was definitely from a princess because only princesses would have had bracelets.
Back then, yeah.
What kind
No.
of stuff are we looking at?
We're talking about fossilized human remains
Mm.
from humanoids and giants. So
Giants as well.
Giants.
I've been on
Okay,
the I've
so
been
it's
on the
gotta-
Giants as well.
It's got to have some kind
Yep.
of conspiracy,
Conspiracy.
otherworldly edge to it.
Stay on brand.
To pique Cynthia's interest. you
well,
see.
yeah. I mean, why I went there was I wanted to go to the the African Stonehenge, otherwise known as the cradle of mankind. But this museum was the bonus because they just had so many artifacts that you could actually touch. And one of the famous ones of Michael Tallinger's is the ringing stone. So it's a stone, or it looks like one anyway, and it's probably, what's that? 500
you
mil?
got your you
600
got
mil?
700 or 800 mil there.
700 mil.
If you got 500 mil, you got 800 there.
Yeah.
Big stone.
Yep.
And you hit it, and it rings like a bell. Now,
Mm.
you can
shouldn't
do this
have
at
been.
home, people. Go and
Okay.
get a stone or a rock out of the garden
Shouldn't ring.
and, hit it with something. It doesn't
Oh,
ring.
it's a,
It doesn't
it's
ring.
a moon rock because that's what they've. That's what NASA. You could check that out. when they crashed in the orbital thing and the moon rang for 3 hours like a
I've
a
heard
bell.
about that.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I've
yeah.
heard about
So
that
I'll-
because
I'll-
it's
That's in
hollow
NASA.
and
I'll
it's,
stop you right
it's
there.
actually a satellite.
And I'll stop you right there, Jez. What actually happened is that they were trying to discover what was the surface made up of. So their strategy was to bomb the moon.
Yeah.
That was their first idea. So then what
Couldn't go
would
wrong.
happen, it would explode. The particles would go into the air. They could take a reading of the particles and say, it's dirt or sand or moon sand. And so what they did is they
Sound theory.
exploded this giant thing and yeah, short enough got the particle readings, but the moon rang
Like a bell.
like a big gong.
And that shouldn't really happen if it's not hollow.
That's
Yeah,
right.
or if it's
Or made
not-
of metal.
or made of this special stone that you speaketh of.
Well, they had stone, but they also had cracked other stones that rung, so you can actually see
what's in there.
And
inside.
it's just stone.
It's Kinder Surprise.
No,
There's a
but
little
There's a bell in there.
plastic toy of a bell, yeah.
The pattern in the stone was quite interesting. So with stones, they're actually sort of alive, and they get what's called a patina, and that's like a skin on the outside. So when you crack a stone, and you can actually see that really thin, like the Earth's crust, like this layer. But inside those stones was what really looked like to be tissue, like human tissue.
Oh.
So, but
Like a
fossilized.
Yeah,
Like a matrix of fungus or like a
network of
a network of like fungi.
Yeah, it had that like
Yeah.
tree
Branch
branchy
out,
kind
yeah.
of look. Yeah,
Wow.
and so that was one of the artifacts they had. They also had what actually looked like bone structures, like jaw pieces, and they were massive.
Yeah.
Like these are big.
All right,
big.
just on the giant thing, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of
Also
there's a lot of
dicks.
YouTube. There's a lot of YouTube videos on it if you want to dive in deep this weekend, guys. But couldn't it just be the pituitary gland? Like, you got your Andre the Giants, you got the
Yeah.
tallest man in the world.
Sure.
That's just a
What else you got? Big guy.
all the wrestlers that are juiced up
Oh,
to
yeah.
their eyeballs.
Tony
Yeah,
Robbins.
well, I saw- well, I
Big
met,
guy. Tony Robbins is.
He had a pituitary gland cancer. Yeah.
There you
Actually, I
go.
met with the basketballer Jeremy.
Michael
Dennis
Jordan.
Rodman.
Oh, Dennis
and
Rodman.
his head was the size of my torso.
It was. That photo was
What?
unbelievable.
His
His head was as twice as his torso.
fucking massive.
His hands, though,
Well,
tiny as a midget.
no,
Little paws.
he shook my hand with giant. He had 5 giant penises on his wrist.
By the time he actually finished shaking your hand, he was shaking your elbow.
Yeah, and it turned out it wasn't his hand at all. I had my hand down his pants.
Massive cock.
5 of them.
Yeah. So where are you going next?
Where are we?
Well, I haven't even
Yeah,
gotten...
no, she's only
Oh.
got to the first
Oh, shit.
exhibition of the
Well, I'm
museum.
still in the
Sorry.
museum, mate.
Okay.
Yeah, well, they had phallus-looking objects, fossilized phalluses, but they also had reptile skin, fossilized reptile skin.
Okay.
And that was pretty creepy because they had that full scaly look.
Yep.
Hearts. I'm not shitting you. The hearts were quite impressive, and they're about the size of my head. And
Wow.
you could see the
Fossilized
So
hearts.
we're talking giants' hearts here. Just
Yeah, I'm on board.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
But
Just to bring
they,
it back.
Yeah.
they also had what's known as Taurus stones, like Taurus, Taurus, where they actually suck in energy one end and it goes out the other.
Like a
And
butthole.
What they,
The mouth and a butthole. A rock with a mouth and a butthole.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
what they found was apparently when they had visitors in the museum, people couldn't be in this room for more than a couple of minutes
'Cause
or
they-
half
Without
an hour.
shitting themselves.
They'd be tempted to use it as a flashlight.
Oh,
Cannot be
the
left
damage.
alone for 1 minute.
Yeah.
I just worked out to get the clipboard and
Dude, like every time we say with science and technology and just move, when
you
can we fuck it?
yeah. If you want technology to move forward,
You better
Make
be
it
able to stick your
fuckable.
dick in it.
Anyway, so
Please.
the people were falling asleep in the museum, so they found out the Taurus stones were up the wrong way and they were sucking everyone's energy out.
Ah.
So they had to go and mark the stones to say this way up,
This way
kind
up.
of. Yeah, and they
Yep.
left it like
Mm.
that. So, but yeah, so Edwin was my tour guide's name, and he said he was going to pick me up the next morning and take me out to the Stonehenge. And but we went via some stone circles, and they're quite fascinating because they're in the middle of nowhere, and they don't have entrances, but they're obviously collapsed, and that's how you can get into the centre. And he had one of those dowing. He gave me those dowing rods.
Find water rods, 2 sticks, and they move around together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, they also pick up on frequencies. And
Okay,
stuff
right,
like
yeah,
that,
right.
so
Like
I was walking
Ghostbusters.
around.
Yep.
You've
I
seen
don't know.
Ghostbusters.
I've seen it.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. But yeah,
Yeah, so how did they get in?
well,
they
the
didn't get
walls
in.
had collapsed.
Yeah, but did they? Was it a?
It's called a door.
Was there a door?
Turned
Did
out
anyone?
there was.
Did they build this structure just for the look of it? No one could get in it. It's like one of the. Let's just say it's the big pineapple. You know, it's more about the outside more than the inside.
Okay, I think that's
You know,
a big ram, is what you're thinking of.
Oh, the
you
big-
can't get inside the big pineapple. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
Don't
let's
worry.
forget
You
it.
do the
Big-
maths.
what about the banana?
You can get in the banana.
Okay.
Well, the theory I think is that they're big conductors.
Ah.
Yeah, because the stone, the dolerite stone, is apparently resonates at some.
You may
high
say
frequency.
dollarite, not dolomite.
Dolomite.
Is it dolomite?
No, dollarite.
No dollarite. I don't know.
Dolerite.
Look, you were
Fair
there.
enough.
I
Yeah.
was there.
You took notes.
I did take a lot of notes because this guy 3 hours talking at me about why man has an obsession with gold and how that's been embedded into our DNA because we were actually made as slaves to mine gold for the Anunnaki.
So that's
Sure,
our
sure.
main purpose in life. Get that gold. Get that gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really
Get
quite
that gold and
interesting.
then get rid of it. Like we've been trained to collect it and spend it.
Well, no, the Mayans and all those South American tribes and stuff that worship gold. That I don't think it's a value. It's not like a money trading thing. It's just like we collect
Sacred.
We collect gold.
Yeah.
We just put the money value onto it, and that's because that's our. Oh, that's the aliens' way of making us collect it, Tim.
That's correct.
In this day and age, you see.
And the theory about why they need the gold is quite interesting because their planets. I mean, that's not what Edwin told me, but yeah, their planet's disintegrating, like the EMF to protect it. So they were mining gold on this planet to take it back there and blow it into the atmosphere. So
Excellent.
we have all this value on gold, wearing it as jewelry, having a bullion or whatever, and having crypto backed by gold and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, it goes deep, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does go deep. But these aliens are just blowing it into the atmosphere of the planet to protect it from the sun.
Yeah.
All right.
Just blowing it all.
Jeez.
Anyway, yeah. So on the top of this, I didn't realize it was a crater. Well, it was just getting up there to this site. The only way that Michael, I think, got it protected, because it's not also on the side of a freeway.
Yeah.
He got it protected because they claimed that the land that this site was on was a bird habitat.
I was
That's
just
the
about to
only
say
way
the
they got it
orange-breasted parrot. That's how they were trying to stop all the wind turbines in Gippsland or whatever. Oh, there's a red-bellied parrot that's going to fly into the turbines.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
That's
Did it work?
interesting. No, but it's an interesting
obviously it
strategy.
works.
It's like, yeah, it's not about what's under the ground. It's what's flying in the sky. It might.
Yeah, it's about how.
It's
how
a
much
it's a better
you can get
news
the freeway
story.
through it.
It's a better news story, like protecting a feathered friend, isn't it? No?
It is.
Yeah, maybe it is.
But yeah, we in this cute little Hilux or whatever it was, just me and Edwin driving through pine plantations and then ending up on top of this massive cliff face of what I didn't know at the time, because there's a lot of haze in South Africa because people are burning fire because that's
The fuel
what they
source,
use.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuel for heat and cooking. So everything's really super smoky. But
Oh, you're right.
So,
yeah, we were actually on top of a crater that was 250 kilometers in diameter.
Right, that's big.
It was really big.
250 k's.
That's from here to the border of
New South
New
Wales.
South, just about, or more, a little bit less. So
250
I think it's
k's.
300 k's to the Murray, isn't it?
To the Murray then.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so it's about.
That's massive.
It's a good
That is big.
percentage of the
So
way
you
there.
cannot see the other side. Or could you see the other
No,
side?
I couldn't. But later on my trip on my way to Swaziland, which is a whole nother story.
Are you going to come back to the podcast within a year? Because we'll hear about that next week.
I got pulled
definitely.
over by the Swazi police
Ooh.
for speeding. Got out of that one. Well, it's like it goes from 120 kilometers to 60 in the space of
Yeah,
100
something like that.
meters.
Sounds like
Southeastern Arterial.
yeah, it sure does. But
Yeah.
You can tell us about that next podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, on top of this cliff face is the Stonehenge. There it is. There's my picture.
Oh, yeah.
Adam's calendar, or in African, it's Inzalo Yalunga.
Yeah,
And
basically, yeah.
translates to the birthplace of the sun. So that's why it's also called the cradle of mankind, because
Okay.
that's apparently
fertile.
Mm.
But there's a lot of connection with the Egyptian mythology and the gods there, that was where they were. Like Horus used to stand there and watch over the mines in the crater.
Get that
and
gold.
making sure that man in slavery would get the
And now
gold.
is he one of the giant jaws?
He's the bird head.
Is he
He's
one of
the
the
bird
giant?
head.
Yeah, but is he giant?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a god.
Is he big?
Yeah,
Like
he is.
Andre the Giant?
I
Like
don't know.
large?
Well,
I think they were.
yeah, I think
The
they depicted
Anunnaki
as-
are
The
known
large
to be
ones.
tall, yeah.
Mm.
So, and there was, like, the stone kind of, like in Stonehenge, how they're standing up.
Mm.
That's what it used to be like, but they've kind of all fallen over in the last decade. But one of them is in the shape of a bird for Horus.
Yeah, right.
And what they used to also have was this, what they called was the stone man, and he was kind of at the entrance of the stone circle.
Okay.
But there used to be a lot of aircraft accidents because the site vibrated at such a high frequency.
It's like a Bermuda
Fucked up
Triangle
yeah,
area.
So they had to move. Someone moved the stone man, and then the frequency of the site actually dropped down a bit. So
He was
Stone
the
Man.
He was the keystone.
he's the keystone. Yes, that's
okay.
correct.
Far out, man.
They put
So,
a freeway through him.
like, because we are getting to almost the end of our time here. So, but
Alright.
highlights, lowlights of traveling to all these exotic locations. I admire the solo trip. Like, I did it when I was 20. Actually, wrong time to do it, I think. No internet, lack of
Yeah.
research. Wasted my time. Would you recommend it? Just go for it, people. People that can go single
100%.
dude, just go for it. Don't get a mate or
Nah, I've travelled a lot on my own. I have wanted partners in the past to come with me.
there with me.
Oh yeah,
by
imagine
myself.
sharing some of this stuff. Like I can't
you
turn.
get to come on the podcast.
I
It's not so
do.
bad.
I get to share it with all you lovely people. But
Yeah.
it's nothing like when you're in the flesh. But I've had to learn. Like I can't
needs
keep
makeup.
waiting. Can't keep waiting for someone to come
No,
with me.
no.
You just
Never
got
do
to go.
anything.
No.
So I had to
And
go.
you met that guy you kept talking about, the guy on your trip,
Edwin.
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 You mentioned him like,
Oh,
Oh well, he was the guide.
yeah, but
She sort of had no choice.
it's one of those
but to
things where
mention
when someone just keeps saying your name in a conversation, like, hey, so Jeremy, tell me about the time,
Tell me about the time, Jeremy, that you'd Jeremy.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
that all about?
What is that about?
sorry, I wasn't name dropping, but he was.
Yeah,
he was
Edwin.
really cool.
Edwin.
And when I got to see the Stone Man, I kept having Soundgarden like in my head. So I was like,
Stone Man.
and he's like, "What is the Stone Man that you keep singing?" And so I blasted like Soundgarden's Spoon Man in the car on the way back, and he was like, "Yeah,
But this
I
is
like
Spoon.
song."
This
Yeah.
he's saying Spoon Man.
Yeah. I don't understand. What is this?
So go. You really must go, even by yourself. Is
Yep,
the
100%.
lesson
Especially
of this
by yourself.
episode? Yeah, because you say that it would have been great to have someone there, but maybe they don't want to go to the bloody the museum, and then you don't get to see the friggin' rock,
and then
you
they
don't.
hold you back. Like
Yeah,
you
there's
say,
pros
we're
and
gonna
cons
Yeah.
to
It's
traveling
a
people.
5-hour drive to
100%.
see this volcano face, and they're like,
Mm, 5 hours.
Yeah.
kind of.
Easter Island. What else is
Jesus,
there to do?
I've seen one. I've seen them all.
apart from the heads.
Face is a face. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not
geez.
traveling with either of you.
No, okay, yeah, sure.
Absolute pricks.
Yeah, the worst.
But I mean, I would ask, would you come back to this adventure one time before your next holiday, maybe? Why are you always on these holidays?
Well, this is long service leave, so I've
there
been,
you
you know,
go.
slave.
So you
my
deserved it.
own- Yeah,
but no,
100%
she earned
deserved
it.
Earned
I
it.
did earn it. Yeah,
you did.
Yeah.
Well done.
That's
And
good.
someone did ask me not to go for as long as I wanted to, so I cut the trip short to get back on my 1 year anniversary.
Alright.
But
Ah.
they stopped speaking to me
Coffee talk.
3
coffee
months
talk
before I left.
Quick. All right.
So even
just
more
before
of a
just
reason.
before we wrap it up with coffee talk with Cyn City. Want to delve into a quick 25, 45-minute relationship
No,
banter?
no.
Just quickly.
That's just all of my point there is that I just decided to go no matter what and don't hold back for other people. You just got to go.
Lara Croft, that
And we
is
haven't
inspiring
heard, we haven't
words.
heard the end of your adventures.
Nah.
I'm sure you're going to touch on that at some stage.
Yeah. And I mean, make a list of all the things all the crazy places you've been. I'll keep looking shit up on YouTube. I'll get a better list together.
Maybe we should think about the next holiday trip and really plan out some kind of...
Why don't we go to the most haunted place in Australia?
Hell yeah, where
that?
is it?
It's not far from here.
Where?
I think it's like a couple of hours drive towards South Australia.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
like Melton.
Lansfield.
Yes, I should like that.
I'd be up for
excellent.
that.
I'll be up for that
I
as well.
I know my wife, every time I watch Ghost Adventures, she says, this shit again. So she's not invited.
No, because she'll want. I'm skeptical, but I want the scare.
Jeremy's skeptical, but I say to him, if you went to a haunted castle, for example, and
Yeah.
spent a night there on your own, in the pitch black, you start hearing noises, are you scared?
I'm shit scared.
Right. So he believes in something.
I'm spooked.
He just won't admit it.
It
on the
just needs
podcast.
I want to
restumping.
feel. No, I want that overwhelming fear factor of going to this castle. I want to feel that fear. I just never have. I always manage to go, it's just dark.
Nah, it's there. You feel it straight away. And there was a ghost tour in Melbourne, and I looked it up, and there was, because we had an incident with Sean Enough.
All
where
right.
he made a recording, and it turned into a...
There's a
what is it,
backward.
EMF?
There's a message in the
what's
The
background.
EMF's got into it. Static.
I'll play it to you.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking weird. So
Okay.
I shopped it around to ghost hunters, and I went, can I send you something? Can you analyze this for me? Or at least have a listen to it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of them got back to me. Some of them, like, far too quickly. So it sort of made it a bit weird. Like, yeah. like, we got one. kind of stuff. But I was like, all right, so if we can't necessarily go out and organise the guys to go to a ghost hunter and interview him about what he thinks, maybe we'll go on a ghost tour. And there was a tour in a bookshop in Melbourne.
Yeah.
It's recently closed down.
The haunted bookshop's
gone.
closed down.
No, the tour.
The tour.
He's been doing it for 35 years. And
He's
as
a
soon as
very
I-
interesting person.
He
that guy.
turned into one of the ghosts because he's dead.
He will. Do you think he will become the ghost on
He'll be haunting the tours
tour guide?
somewhere.
Ghost, haunted tour guide.
Maybe in South Africa. Maybe who knows where, Tim.
Maybe,
But
but it's gone. So I would be up for
up for
I'd
some
be
We'll do a
scares.
private one.
But let's, like I
I'd be
said,
up
like
for a haunted drive though.
I need my hauntings to be a nighttime scenario. It needs to be cold. I'm thinking winter. I've said this before. Like I'm not getting spooked in the middle of summer.
But if we do
It's not
go
spooky
to this,
time. It's not the spooky time
if
of
we
year.
do go to this ghost destination, do we get to investigate on our own accord, on our own? Or do we
Nah, I
have to go on
think
a
it's
tour?
I think it's an old hotel or an old homestead.
Okay. So we can't.
Could be spooky.
There's the
reveal
old,
yourself. Show yourself.
The abandoned mental hospital out near Greenvale. That's always
That's,
fun to
not-
break into.
That's not how we. That's not how we say that anymore.
We don't say mental. We don't say hospital. Which one?
We'll find out.
Haunted.
We'll find out next week.
sure.
I'll do the research, and it's
You do the research.
you do it. It's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully, Cyn City will be back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we might
And,
even book you in before you leave. How does that sound?
Yeah,
Sounds good.
It'll be
Good.
pleasurable.
Good.
I'm Jezbot.
I'm Timmy Taco.
Thanks for listening to Jumping the Turnstile.
Bye, guys.
They hop, they duck, they climb. They go through 2 at a time.
Jumping the turnstile. Jump the turnstile.
Jump the turnstile.
Leap over the turnstile.
Hopping over the turnstile. I had to take me. It was like a ninja.
Jumping the turnstile.
And it's no small thing.
People have jumped the turnstile.
I definitely jumped the turnstile. Jumping.
The turnstile.
I definitely would do it once, twice. I would do it over again.
Whenever I believe I don't have to do it, I do it. I get away with it.
And there was no one there, so I figured it'd be just easier to jump the turnstile.
I've jumped some fairs in my day.
I definitely jumped the turnstile a few times. Jumping.
Turnstile, instead of just paying the $2.25.
That was the technique. I pull the turnstile back. Like that. Boom, boom. My upper body is not moving. Just my leg.
Jump the turnstile.
Jump the turnstile.
The turnstile. We are the antibacterial wipes. This don't even look sanitary.